Hey, welcome back to Two Super Guys for a Sucks. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Vinny. And man, oh man, of course, perfect timing with Michael Burry. We did that recent poll talking about what people think about him. And now he's in the news again on CNBC this past couple days, talking about how this feels like the dot-com bubble bursting or about to burst again. So, the predictions keep on coming, whether or not any of the last 20 or 30 or 40 have been fulfilled.
Eventually, he'll be right about this
Eventually,
crash.
yes. Yes. You'll have lost enough money in theta decay of your options, though, that it will not make any sense to continue to pursue it. But,
Yeah, I
um,
will say in his newsletter, he says that he'll roll his options over all the time for these short. I'm like, how much? That's a lot. I mean,
yeah.
because he's just go he keeps going.
Well, he does tend to buy longer dated options, too. So the theta decay is a little bit less impactful on those. But yeah, I agree.
True, but I mean, 2027 January is soon.
Now it's relatively soon, but this is the headline you saw, basically just talking about this whole like feeling like the last few months of the 99 2000 bubble. That's what you're seeing there. So this is the final results of our poll here regarding Michael Burry, and what the audience's thoughts are. I don't know if you want to chime in on what your opinion is here, but I think this is kind of interesting. pretty
So
pretty good spread.
one, I think it's foolish to say he's not worth listening to. Yes, I, a lot of people can have valuable information, and also it is rough. You can be right 20 times and then be wrong 2 times. People only remember the last wrong. That's just the world that we live in, right? It's
Mhm.
just it is what it is. I I do think he is not adapted to the current generation market where retail traders or investors make up a significant portion of the volume traded every day. That's new and it does change things. It threw off his last, big sell tweet in like 4 years ago. So
Yeah.
I do think there's that.
Buy the dip, bro. All right. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in this, like, it's worth listening to, but, like, is it anything that's going to really seriously impact my kind of changes around, like, what I'm doing portfolio wise? No, I don't think so. Um, so this is like with the continuing that article. We're going to talk about a couple other points here that they made. So most famous for the housing crash, stocks are up because of consumers, jobs or consumer stocks are not up or down because of jobs or consumer sentiment. He wrote, um, feeling like the last few months of the bubble. Compare the recent trajectory to the semiconductor with the stocks in 2000, March of 2000. Yeah, the semiconductor index only goes bar. Okay, this is a monster move. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This depends on your positioning, whether this has been the best thing ever or it's been like utterly bloodily awful to watch. I mean, when a company like Intel that's been dead as long as they've been dead for, all of a sudden it starts ticking off and going up
Yeah.
50%. Yeah,
I've
yeah,
yeah, to be fair to Intel support, I've trashed Intel for a long time. The new CEO does seem significantly better than the last four. So there is that. I'm
yeah.
gonna that it might be solid.
Eventually, you finally get the regime change that
Yeah,
you've been seeking,
he
but
seems like a
a lot
smart
of
dude.
other. Yeah, what's the saying about you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find the prince?
That's
Something like
how it
that.
is, man. I think
Yeah.
they maybe they found it.
Yeah, I say, hey, want to stop you over. So this is the Michigan Consumer Sentiment Index here. Yeah, yeah. People are really, really happy out there right now, just like the happiest they've ever been. It's amazing. People are not happy. I'm being sarcastic for those of you that lack a sarcasm either, but that's kind of what we're looking at.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty low.
Yeah,
That's not
we're gonna talk
good.
a little bit about what that could impact here, right? So this is a data point a lot of people realize. Consumer spending in the U.S. 68-70% of the U.S. economy, um, and when the consumer sentiment is poor, that's kind of makes you worry about the largest sector of the U.S. economy, which is what is starting to get headlines a little bit. Um, so this is like the data point here that I wanted to highlight here. So there's been a lot of concentration while consumer spending overall is like that 70% number. 10% of households are like half of all consumer spending. Yeah.
Okay, that's rough. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah. For those of you that prefer visually inclined here, like this is consumer spending over time. I can't remember what year this actually comes up to. This is from Moody's. Um, But look at the rising tide here of the high earners in terms of their percent of consumer spending, and the lowest 20% of earners being like barely registered on this graph. They're basically flat. There's another one that shows you kind of like the spread here in this like K-shaped economy, to show you what that means a little bit here. So yeah, here's your K. Yeah.
K is a stretch, but okay.
Yeah, well, it's
I
pretty
see it.
wild, right?
Yeah.
So you're looking at here the split between the top 20% and the bottom 80%, okay, in terms of spending here. And this is consumer sentiment where it comes to matter. So the top 20% are now account for 59% of consumer spending. The bottom 80% accounts for 41. This is that K-shaped economy that only accelerated even more so in terms of the spread after the pandemic. It's bananas, just like how different it is. That's why you're seeing consumer sentiment being horrendous, but somehow the economy is still chugging, because that top 50% or 20% of earners are accounting for now 59% of consumer spending. So the households that have it are continuing to spend more, but they're becoming fewer and fewer of the households overall that are in that position, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's not good. It's frowned upon.
Yeah.
This is what
Yeah.
matters.
Well, yeah, yeah, all right. You're getting a little peek into it here from a couple of the fast food companies that reported this week. So McDonald's basically saying that like they did well on their numbers, but they're starting to get a little bit worried about consumer strength here, and that they're really trying to pivot more into the value. If you're a fat guy like me, you see a lot of companies bringing back like, biggie bag deals and value oriented things as far as these like fast food companies, because that's what they're having to do to appeal to consumers. Because particularly, that bottom 80% is really really hurting right now. Right?
These are actually decently in quotes, solid predictions of recessions. It's like it was when fast food companies are like, "Hey, we're seeing some issues." That's usually a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm just saying like this is the balance, right? Like on one hand, you could have like a guy like Burry telling you that things are going to fall apart like tomorrow, but I'm also telling you like there is legitimate worry here.
Yeah.
So he's not entirely off base, but he's just another voice that's just kind of in the ether of everything else that's going on here. Um, so this is talking about how consumers are having to basically pivot towards buying more food at home, because restaurant prices were up 3.8%, compared to food prices overall at 2.7% in March. Um, and they're changing the way they spend money, rampant inflation, economic concerns. 28% of Americans expect their financial situations to get worse in 2026. Not great. Um, and among those in that category, 66% intend to cut back on eating or drinking outside of the home to cope with that pressure. So, this is going to be an area where you're going to really see the battle for those consumer dollars in that bottom 80% rung in particular. Um, so, consumers shift toward meals at home, prices soar. This is basically reiterating the same thing here. Um, Steeply in March, according to Deloitte, while spending levels picked up a bit in April, they're below January's levels just because of the spike in gas prices. I don't know about you, but like I feel that. I went and filled up my car the other day. It was
Dude,
$85. Not that long ago, it would have been like $50.
bro. Yeah, I'm at 4.99 a gallon here.
Wow. Yeah, we're just over like 420, 425 in my area. I'm relatively coastal compared to you, so but we typically are a little bit lower.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely hurting. So McDonald's restaurant chain, stronger than expected first quarter earnings. Sales rose 3.8% annual basis. Comparable store sales 3.9. So they actually did relatively well. But they did say that it's becoming a challenging business environment. And like consumer sentiment and spending are certainly not improving and may get a little bit worse. So that's their comments on the consumer health. Another company. This is actually interesting. I got to do like a deeper dive here because this
Yeah.
this this entertaining. Like this is Domino's. Look
Yeah.
what the stock price has done.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
granted, if you
500,
go back 5
525.
years, I mean, this stock has rocketed. It's done incredible. But yeah.
Yeah, we,
Okay.
we did that one video comparing Google stock to Domino's, and Domino's actually outperformed Google over like they IPO'd on the same day,
Yeah.
over the course of like 20 years.
We should
Um,
add this to our list of deep dives. This is actually an interesting one because it was at 500 about, oh my gosh, June 2025. We're at 323.
yeah. The
Okay.
the forward PE is like I think 15 or 16 right now.
Yeah, let's add it to the list.
Yeah,
Let's
I
do
gotta
some
look more at
research,
this.
man.
I gotta look more at this. Yeah, no, right? All right. So their CEO, when they reported earnings, had even more negative things to say than the McDonald's CEO because their numbers came in weaker. All right, which is definitely a sign of economic worries when you can't afford the $6.99 pizza. I think it's one of the best deals in the market here. Right. So Domino stock fell. CEO thinks more chains will follow. They were one of the first fast food chains to report. Um, they did have, let me see here, winter weather, weak consumer sentiment hurt their quarterly sales. It's different competition. They got a couple of rivals coming after them. Um, Stock tanked 8%. All right, so this is same store sales rose just 0.9, lower than the 2.3% bump expected. So their same store sales came in at like a little under 1%. McDonald's was almost 4%. Okay, to show you how different it was from Domino's
Okay.
to McDonald's. It's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if they
Yeah.
have data on different consumer mix there, but they drastically underperformed what some of their other fast food peers were able to put up. Right. Um, and even to the point where they actually lowered their full year guidance, all right, to low single digit growth, down from the prior projection. The U.S. same store growth will increase 3%. So they're saying it's weak. It's going to stay weak and keep being weak throughout the rest of this year. Is Domino's kind of take?
Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah, definitely a problem. They do say it's not just the consumer spending at all. It's obviously like a little bit of infighting amongst the major pizza chains. Papa John's coming after them and Pizza Hut, but both of those are in less than ideal places as far as like the chains being potentially sold off. And also Domino's themselves have larger budget advertising budget than two competitors combined, which is kind of interesting. I'm not sure how much the return on spend they're getting out of that, like if it's really effective ads or if it's just more of them.
I've
um,
literally never seen a Domino's ad ever.
Interesting.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, it's crazy to me.
You and I are in.
I don't ever eat at these fast food pizzas. I always do like local pizzas, so I don't.
Yeah. Well, the problem with here is all my local pizza places are like that Greek style, which
Yeah,
is
no, that's
okay,
bad.
but it's not my favorite.
It's bad.
On occasion, you just need Domino's. There's actually the Pizza Hut near me went out of business. Papa John's near me went out of business. So unfortunately, like if I'm gonna get chain pizza, it's gonna be Domino's or
Okay.
Papa Gino's is a local one we have up here in the Northeast, which is pretty good.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on like this kind of consumer spending shift in that K shape? I mean, that's like a very dramatic image there. That the split between the different like segments of households. It's pretty crazy.
I the situation in Iran is so tenuous. There was just a tweet this morning that looks like we might go. I mean, it's really all dependent on tweets and not hard data, in my opinion. I don't agree with that logically, but I would have to look at the performance of the last year and all the things happening and just kind of realize hard data doesn't matter as much as a single tweet now. So if we're having hard data that's saying, hey, this is actually a little bit of a rough spot, we're not doing well, and also tweets that, hey, we're going to do something that's hurt the economy, then yes, I think you have fuel in the fire, you're ready to go. But I think if there's a tweet that says the economy is great, don't look at it, they'll be fine. I think it'll just push the crash later. But
The tweet would probably be something about like McDonald's is more American than Domino's Pizza. Thank you for your
something.
attention to this matter.
Yeah, in which case I will be buying Domino's because they would go down like 50% on the one tweet. So that would be solid.
Yeah.
All right, let us know what you guys think. Everything I've been reading is saying that this summer is supposed to be rough, but I fell into the negativity cycle of reading this stuff, and it cost me a lot of money on that AMD trade. So I have to not look at news and just kind of look at stuff. But let us know what you
Yeah.
guys think.
Well, yeah. Especially let me know what you think about Domino's Pizza because that's starting to get a little bit juicy to me.
We're doing a deep dive on that for sure.